One of my favorite things to do is look at career trends. And right now, there's a trend in a skill that LinkedIn users are adding to their profiles. It's social perceptiveness. Social perceptiveness is trending because we need human-centered skills in the age of AI. Social perceptiveness is your ability to read a room or read people, to quickly read body language, emotions, even look at hidden intentions behind words. And if we can be more socially perceptive, it makes us better communicators, more effective at work, better at leading meetings, and better able to suss out potential miscommunications or challenges before they arise. So in this video, since it's a trending career skill, I'm actually working on a course for LinkedIn Learning on social perceptiveness. I want to give you a little sneak peek of how you can up your social perceptiveness right now. First, positive versus negative cues. It's really important when you're with someone to try to bucket or group their cues into positive or negative. So positive cues are the ones you think of, like smiling or nodding vertically. By the way, nodding vertically is only a positive cue outside of India, Bulgaria, and Pakistan. That's a cultural cue. So smiling. Some ones that you might not think of as positive are leaning in. When we lean in, it's like we're trying to get closer to people. Other positive cues are a slow triple nod or a head tilt. This is when we expose our ear to hear something better. And we like something, we're usually doing all of those things. You might also see more animated hand gestures or broader body posture. On the other hand, negative cues are things like a furrowed brow or pulled down lips. You can also see more distancing or blocking. So blocking is when we cross our arms over our chest or we tightly hold something in front of us to block or protect us. You also might see someone engage in distancing behavior where they pull back or lean back or pull away. Whenever we don't like something, we try to protect our body or get away from it. So looking for those clusters of negative cues can indicate that something is going wrong underneath. The second thing you want to pay attention to with social perceptiveness are the 7 universal microexpressions. So I love teaching facial expressions. And when you can read these 7 universal facial expressions, it helps you decode so many hidden emotions. So I teach all of these in my courses, but I want to give you a couple of my favorites right now. So first one is disgust. Disgust, you can try this with me, is when you crinkle your nose up. So you have these little lines appear in your nose and you flash the upper whites of your teeth. Ugh. It's the face you make when you smell something bad, when you're like, ugh. The funny thing is people make this face when they're trying to think of a polite way to say they don't like something. So you could ask someone, so what do you think of the new client? Yeah, they're pretty good. You know that you're seeing that hidden disgust. So look out for that hidden microexpression. My other favorite, or I guess least favorite microexpression that's negative is the contempt microexpression. This is an asymmetrical, one-sided mouth raise. Looks like this. Most people think of this as kind of half happiness or being bored or sarcastic, but actually it's a very negative facial expression. You want to make sure you're not accidentally showing this expression in your profile pictures. You also want to be aware of this in the room, in video meetings, when you're giving a presentation. Watch out for that one-sided mouth raise as someone thinks that they're better than or scornful of what you're saying, and immediately address it. Are we all good? Everything okay? Anyone have any questions? 3, always look for cues of nervousness. So when humans are nervous, 2 things can happen. One is they develop self-soothing behaviors. So this is when we wring our hands, rub the back of our neck, pinch the bridge of our nose. It's any kind of movement that doesn't have purpose. Those can be called self-soothing gestures. Whenever you see a self-soothing gesture, your social perceptiveness should kick in to say, how can I make this person feel better? What triggered them in their environment to make them feel nervous? The second thing that we can do when we're nervous is a rapid blink rate. You might notice if someone is suddenly rapidly blinking. We do this when we're trying to process very quickly or we're trying to block out whatever makes us nervous. The last one is to look for hidden leaks in tone. So when we talk about body language, when I talk about cues, we're talking about our voice, our body language, our facial expressions, our gestures, and the words we use. Tone is the one that people most often forget. And that is when we accidentally use the wrong tone. So for example, if I'm talking to you and explaining something, I'm using a neutral tone or maybe a downward inflection where at the end of my sentence, my tone stays the same. When I'm asking a question, I go up at the end of my sentence. That's called the question inflection. It sounds like this. My name is Vanessa. I specialize in body language. If you hear someone accidentally use a question inflection on a statement, it might mean they're feeling nervous, apprehensive, or not telling the truth. Always listen for accidental misuses of the question inflection. It indicates that there might be some further investigation that needs to be done. Social perceptiveness is such an important skill to add to your resume right now. I would love to help you. You can check out my books, Captivate or Cues, or my latest LinkedIn learning course on social perceptiveness. This is an essential skill to add to your tool belt. You can add it to your LinkedIn profile, your resume, and it will serve you in all kinds of ways.